Shalom, shalom, Akim. This is Brother Mashaba coming back at you with another lesson. First, before I get into it, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Kakwadash. Second thing I want to do is give double honor to all the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Alright, so what I wanted to get into with this lesson is the fact that we're going to be joint heirs. Alright, and the Lord is going to save us. Okay, because, one, this planet got to be, renewed, all right, because it's polluted physically and spiritually, all right, but the Lord is going to come back, rain judgment, save his men, and renew the planet, all right. It's going to be a new Jerusalem, all right, and we're going to be ruling over that renewal with Yahweh Shai, joint heirs. All right, this is Romans 8:17. And the children then heirs of Yahweh, and joint heirs with Mashiach, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. All right, it says joint heirs with, Yahushua and Mashiach. All right. Verse 18, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. So yeah, and the sufferings, and that scripture is 100%, because whatever we go through right now is nothing to spending, eternity in a new perfectly righteous body with spiritual powers. All right, never be able to die. All right, and ruling alongside with Yahweh Shai. All right, and the scriptures say we gonna have hundredfold of whatever we want. All right, of course, it got to be lawful, but you gonna have 100 times of whatever you want. All right, so yeah, so definitely whatever we go through now is nothing to the reward. All right, this is Revelation 21:1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there is no more sea. All right, that's that renewal. All right, verse 2. And I, John, saw the holy city, all right, New Jerusalem, coming down from Yahweh out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. All right, and I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. And Yahweh himself shall be with them and be their power. All right, so, that's, as I mentioned in the precept I read last time, a new Jerusalem, right? A new earth. It said, the first heaven, the first earth were passed away. All right, that's the Lord that's going to be done away with this place, and make it much better. All right. But yeah, man, hold on, let me read this. Wisdom of Solomon 3:6. As gold in the furnace, receive them as a burnt offering. In the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble. All right. So we gonna be, and this is talking about part of the spiritual powers, man. All right, hold on. Let me get another precept in the midst of that one. All right, it's Isaiah 40:31. Start at verse 29. He giveth, Isaiah 40:29. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might he increaseth strength. Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. All right? And and if that don't sound like, a superhuman feats. All right, it's like it had a small interruption, but let me keep on going. Let me just But oh yeah, where I was at. So yeah, man, if that don't sound like superhuman feats, you know, then I don't know what does, man. Because it says we shall run and not be weary. So we can. So if running for however long and not having no sign of exhaustion or any sort of weariness don't sound superhuman to you, like a superpower, then you clearly, you know, then it's hollow up there, man. All right. The Lord is gonna increase. He say He's gonna increase our strength. You know, we shall mount up with wings as eagles, man. All right. So He may literally grant us wings, or just grant us the ability to fly, man. All right, but I would want a raw ass pair of wings, though. All right. That kind of reminds me of the X-Men movie. I don't know which character it was, but he basically had, his mutant power was, that he had wings. That's what I, think about every time I read this scripture. But just that character as a Jake, obviously because he had Edomite in the movie. All right. So let me go back to this Wisdom of Solomon. All right, we start at verse 3 and 7. And in the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble, and, just going back and forth between the precepts I just read. We said we shall run and not be weary. All right, we're going to be running like, the Flash. All right, like Quicksilver, just, not being able to be killed by bullets. All right, but just imagine that being able to, run faster than the speed of sound, whatever speed the Lord may grant us. All right, and not have any sign of exhaustion. All right. This is verse 8. They shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever. All right, man. And that is that joint heirs aspect of it too. We're gonna be ruling over this place with new bodies, spiritual powers. All right, and joint rulership with Yahweh Shema Shai. Of course, it's still, he the big boss. All right, but we're gonna be ruling alongside him though. All right, but yeah, man, this is 1 Corinthians 15:4. Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to Yahweh, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power. For he must reign till he hath put all his enemies under his feet. The last enemy that shall be destroyed is death. So yeah. All right, so and let me get this Revelation 6 to back it up. But yeah, man, so Yahushua, he gonna come back and get this place ready for a renewal. As I say, he gonna be raining down judgment, saving his men. All right. This is Revelation 6:4. There went out another horse that was red. All right, and what does well, I'm gonna go into the words. Well, let me just do that now. All right. All right. Let's go into the definition of Edom. All right. So that the word in Hebrew, I'm pretty sure is Adam. So I think it's Adam. All right, and the definition, Edom equals red. All right, so just going back into the Esau Edom link of a so-called white man, just to prove it with these definitions, man. All right, and power was given to him that sat down to take peace from the earth. All right, and let's go into this Job. All right. Salaki. I'm so like, world was given into the hands of the wicked. Bible. Job 9:24. Alright. So like, alright, Khan. This is Job chapter 9 and verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So yeah. Alright, and who's in rulership of this planet now? If you go to any person with a common sense mind, alright, it would say the people that really, rule the earth, in a way, is, the white man, alright? White people. Alright? And let's see. So let me go back to that Revelation. All right, 6 and 4. I'm gonna just restart. And there went out another horse that was red. Power was given to him that said thereon to take peace on the earth, that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. All right, so let's go back to when Esau was given the blessing of the sword by Isaac. All right. So like, yeah. This is Genesis 27. I'm going to start at verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, right, and of the dew of heaven from above. And by the sword, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. All right, and I didn't want to do a whole separate breakdown, really going into who Esau Edom is. Just our reading this precept, but yeah, that's the blessing of the sword he had. All right, thou shalt live by thy sword. All right, man. So let me read this Revelation 6. Revelation chapter 6 and verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace on the earth, that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. So yeah, that's Esau Edom, the so-called white man that's being talked about in Revelation 6 and 4. But yeah, man, the Lord is gonna have to, rip rulership from his hands. And he's gonna punish him, all right, and renew this place, because as I said near the beginning of the video, it's polluted physically and spiritually. All right, so yeah, man, we gonna be joint heirs. All right, so I wanted to get into this lesson. So with that, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Kagudash. Second thing I want to do is give double honor to all the elders and apostles of a millstone, and salutations to all of you brothers that are pushing this truth with both sincerity and with charity. Shalom, wa kwam yasharallah, wa abba. Shalom, Makim. Stay faithful.